Yo, what up, guys? So a little one on BTC. We have really been seeing some drama playing out here. BTC has actually been putting up some shows, and the show started after they dropped to 17K or thereabout, 70,000, a little bit lower than. Okay, I think the lowest it went was 17,300 or 200. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Can't get the and get the data here. Okay, so after they dropped to the 70K zone, we saw a rejection, which is what we can see here. And then from then it's actually been going up, and then it's meeting this very resistance. This is actually a resistance. And after the formation of, after meeting this very resistance, it came down and, okay, formed this very thing we can see here, which is called the right shoulder. So in other words, BTC is actually painted an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Is the inverse head and shoulder pattern. This is the left shoulder, this is the head, and then this is the right shoulder. So it has painted the inverse head and shoulder chart pattern. But then one thing is also worthy of note. We need to take note of something. And the thing is that BTC has actually been forming a series of lower highs. See, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and then we are still anticipating this. We don't know what will happen. Is it gonna come to this very point and then get rejected, or will it get to this very point and break out? Remember, as I said, that this is an inverse head and shoulder pattern, and from technical analysis, an inverse head and shoulder pattern is basically a bullish chart pattern. So in the event that this inverse head and shoulder pattern holds, let me let this to join very well. In the event that the inverse head and shoulder pattern holds very well, so what it means is that we are anticipating a breakout. And should the breakout occur, what should be our targets? Where should we be looking at? Okay, what should be our targets? So we are looking at something, okay, something around this something around here, okay, just from here, right? So the breakout, for the breakout to be very concrete, it needs to be a bit above this previous lower high. It needs to be very much above this previous lower high. So we're anticipating a breakout, maybe something around 21.7, 21.6 or thereabout. So there should be a close of BTC above 21.5. Let me put it that way. BTC has to close very much above 21.5. Could be 21.6, could be 21.7, could be 21.8 or thereabout, but BTC needs to close above that very price range. And should BTC close above that, so we should be expecting a move towards 25K zone or 25K region. Okay, so that's actually what I'm looking at. I do not want to cancel out any probability. I do not want to cancel out any possibility. I do not want to say this thing must happen or this thing must not happen. So I want to open my eyes to every possibility. There is also the possibility of BTC hitting here, okay? Hitting here, maybe once it hits this resistance, it might get pushed down. It might get pushed down. Remember, we have this very support here. This purple line, this pink line you can see here is a support. Is this pink or purple? Okay, I think is purple, so to say. Okay, so we have this very support line here, this very line here. Look at it. It is support, and take it up to the other places. You can equally where it has always served as a support. So we have this support here, and then there is still another support here. So what if BTC eventually hits this second lower high and then gets pushed down back to 16K or thereabout? That's why this very period needs a lot of patience. You need to exercise as much patience as you can. You need to be very patient and wait for the chart to play out. Do not be in a hurry to take any trade. You need to give the market time to determine the direction it wants to go, it wants to take. So in the event that BTC gets here, don't be in a haste to take a buy. Wait for it to close above 21.5, as I had said earlier, because there's still a possibility of it hitting this very resistance, and instead of going up, it moves down to come back to retest the support that we have around the 16K zone. So that's just what I've been able to see from the chart, and I thought it's wise to share with you, my friends. Be good.